I've been doing this since 2009, and in 14 years, I have never seen anything like this.
Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd from Bish's RV down here in Middlebury, Indiana today, checking out a new floor plan from the Salem Wildwood FSX division. And like I said, there's, to my knowledge, nothing else like this out there. This is a small, compact, like mid-size pickup towable. You don't need a giant half-ton or three-quarter pickup to haul this thing around with a dedicated actual office space in the back. Private front bedroom, now centralized air, so you're not sweating to the oldies or hotboxing yourself up front there. This is one of the most crafty, creative, small single-axle campers I think I've ever seen. And I think the biggest gripe that people might have with this, or we'll say point of concern or point of critique, whatever you want to say, is that it is a single axle, not a tandem axle. I am willing to bet, and please voice your opinion if you'd like to see something like this on a tandem axle setup. This is a smart solo or compact couples camping floor plan. Like if you're just one person who runs around for work a little bit, being a little bit of a laptop warrior back there, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And then when you're not working, you just scoot on over, plop over in that kind of simulated cinema seat right there. It is technically a jackknife sofa, but it has a pair of incliner kickouts, and it's that kind of stuff. It's that kind of different looking at it, creativity in a when you look at single axle little campers, they all just copy and paste one another. It's boring, it's annoying. And in an industry with no originality and creativity, FSX is over here cranking, they're just oozing out original floor plans left, right, and center. I can't wait to see what you think about this one. I love this camper. And let's just get right into it. So first of all, putting you in what I call the driver's seat. This is the view from the sofa in the slide. And it puts you staring at the door side of your RV, between the window and the door and the window of the kitchen. It's not too bad. Now, the funny thing is, this is a step-up slide because it's a small camper. So they had to build the slide above the wheel well. But that actually puts you up a little bit closer to the ceiling-mounted TV, and this is only 6.5 foot high. It just weirdly sort of works here, you know? Now, if you look between the window and the kitchen faucet, you see one of my other favorite things on these, a portable Bluetooth speaker. Instead of, speakers on the outside that create an additional leak point, an additional service point, if any sort of wiring goes wrong, it's just a portable Bluetooth speaker. It's just simple. It's just easy. If you get the optional solar package, that's where your charge controller is located, and you can see a nice glossy mirror front on that refrigerator. Perfect for showcasing all of your thumbprints. I know that's my first thought when I look at this thing. But let's not beat around the bush. This is exciting to me. See, this is the thing I think most RV manufacturers don't realize. Not everybody necessarily needs like a 10 foot by 10 foot square, like giant office. You need a spot for a chair and a decent amount of countertop space for like a laptop and a mouse pad and a couple desk drawers. This is all you need. But here's the really cool thing. If you don't care about the desk function, basically, this RV now has a wraparound rear kitchen. It starts below the entertainment center and wraps all the way around the back of the RV. This could be extra prep space. This could be serving space. You could use this like a dog kennel or maybe a cat litter box or something. Oh, hold on. Let me roll this beautiful bean footage out of the way. Look at that. Just simple, smart. So at a glance, I would think, why didn't they make that a drawer? Because the slide fascia could crush it. So that little storage cubby down there, actually really, really smart. And you know what? Just a couple power outlets. We don't need like an entire electrical bank over here. That's enough. It's simple. It's smart. I love this. I really, really like this camper. I've got a couple nitpicks. I don't think it's perfect by any means. I think it's an awesome thing for what it is, though. Like, I could deal with one light in the slide out. I could deal with one light above the bed that isn't there currently. Like, stuff like that wouldn't bother me.
but I'm okay with it as it is, you know. Oh my gosh, I just sort of keyed in the fact they actually put breeze windows in the side of the slide out. I can't even tell you how many so much bigger, more expensive campers don't they? That is just awesome. Now, sorry, let me rein myself back in. I'm like, I'm like way overstimulated here today. This is, you'll get to see it in a minute. I call it a simulated cinema seat. It's got a couple kick-out incliners. There is storage below that as well, which is cool. But it does have to be a step-up slide-out. What is nice, it is carpetless, it is ventless, it is very easy cleaning. Now, when these private bedroom, private bathroom, single-axle FSX models first started coming out, they did not have central air. In the living room, you actually won't see AC ducts. You'll actually need to make sure you leave one of those air vents open to cool your living room. But in the bathroom and in the bedroom, they do now have central air. And that has been retroactively applied. Well, not retroactively. That sounds like anything that was already built. Basically, if you've seen my previous videos of some of these that have private beds, they didn't have central air. Those models do now as well. That is not just something unique to this floor plan. They've gone back and done that based on your feedback on videos like this. Not exclusively, it's not like, my videos are the ones that make the difference. I don't think that. I think that you folks have a platform here on this channel that you've been able to kind of voice some things. And I think it's made a little bit of a difference. Let's start some storage, shall we? Starting up here in the kitchen. And if you notice, how many single axle little campers have exactly 0 drawers? This has 5. Well, no, it has 7, including the 2 over by the desk area. I mean, that is absolutely awesome sauce. Now, that refrigerator door, I call it the AC-DC fridge door because it goes both ways, but the fridge itself is only 12 volt. It's a DC compressor fridge. And then again, over here, this sofa, that is cool to me because it can fold down to a small sleeper. That's the thing. This is really a solo or couples camper. It is really not a good model if you want to bring some guests or anything like that. But it can fold down to a little bed. You know, this is going to sound crazy, but I like crazy. And I don't know why my voice jumped 4 octaves right there. What if somebody took that kick-out recliner face off and, like, that was like a cat haven underneath? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's weird, but I could see that working for somebody. That would be interesting. Anyway, there are pleated pull-down shades, of course, for all these windows. And once again, just being nitpicky, a light above that slide would be great. But I think, I really feel there's place in the marketplace for a tandem axle 8-foot wide version of this. It would ride on a bigger, heavier chassis that would mean they don't have to do a step-up slide, could do a floor flush slide, true theater seating, or a hide-a-bed, or a traditional dinette, and still have like a rear desk, almost wrap-around rear kitchen. That's just my 2 cents, but I want to hear from you. Leave me a comment. What do you think about that kind of crazy idea? Now, it doesn't come with the TV from the factory, because I don't think this is the kind of camper that someone buys just to exclusively watch TV in, but it's not, again, a bad setup. And there's also TV hookup in the bedroom that we'll get to see in a few minutes. They have gone to, instead of swinging doors, sliding privacy doors for this walk-through middle bath. And this design right here does a couple things. It gives us privacy, but it also does so by adding the least amount of length possible to this RV. So it is a very beneficial design to give us the living room that we have. Now, great space around that toilet. It's absolutely fantastic there. But if you are a couple camping and one of you wakes up early and visits the El Commode over here, well, your partner's going to have to wait until you're done to get out, or they're going to have to walk through a cloud of toxic gas, potentially, to get out of here. Because this RV only comes with the small little vent fan here in the bathroom. It thankfully does come with a power vent fan. But what that does mean is that this is fairly easy to upgrade if that is something you want some additional airflow, which frankly could just be cool for a number of reasons. Like if you don't want to run the air conditioner because you're boondocking, you only got battery power, you can get some nice airflow going if you upgrade the fan. Now the skylight is turned east-west, not north-south like the orientation of the shower. Because of where the roof rafters, basically, the trusses are located, they just sneak that in between. So as you saw, I banged my head a couple times trying to stand up in that thing gently, thankfully. But to be fair, hurting my head was the least of my concerns. After smashing into that with my skull, I was more worried about breaking the skylight because I know my hard head could take a hit or two. Trust me on that. Ask me how I know. What? I'd never paid. I'm so. Okay. So maybe it's not full privacy. I never noticed this. How did I miss this before? You've got a curtain right here where if you don't want to fully block off the bedroom, you don't necessarily have to. Now, the only hiccup with that is if you're stuck behind curtain number one, the vent fan is on the other side of the curtain, so you are kind of hotboxing yourself, but maybe you open that window off the side to get some airflow and fresh air. I don't know, but I was like, wait a minute, I didn't even register that initially. Now, thankfully, up here in the bedroom, they did make these breeze-through vent windows. That was a really, really smart call. And this is a north-south easy walk-around bed. It is a Camp Queen, though. They didn't want to add extra length to this RV, which would add extra weight, which would put more pressure on an already limiting cargo carrying capacity. Not to mention the length of the RV gets much longer, and you will be forced to go tandem axle, which, again, I would not be opposed to. I think that there's room here for a big and little version of this. That's my 2 cents right there. Up above this is where I was saying one extra light up in that area. I don't think it would kill anything. Let's start cracking open the storage, starting down here. Notice how both sides of the bed do have household and USB plugs, though. I think that is a nice little find. The storage above the bed's nice. It's nice that it's not just a shelf. Maybe I'm not naming names, but I'm naming names. Winnebago could maybe pay attention to that. It doesn't have a gas strut, but it would be nice if that wasn't a gravity close door, an auto closer door. And you notice there's all those like cube storage organizer things going on under the bed, so they've done a good job, I think, with the space they had. Now, across from the bed, that's where you see your other set of TV hookups. Now we're kind of passing the other way, through the middle bathroom here. And what I want to do now is I'm kind of curious, what do you have to do with that chair when the slide out closes for road mode? Okay, well, first of all, thankfully, you can still walk through here when the slide's closed. So, it does pass the Cracker Barrel test. So you can get to the fridge, the sink, the toilet, the bed. You can use the fridge, sink, toilet, and bed all with the slide closed. But you do got to take a little bit of a step over that step up slide out to do it. Now, I was kind of curious. I thought maybe it was related to this. You notice how that chair is kind of strapped next to the refrigerator? When you first do that, it feels like it's got a little bit of wiggle jiggle to it. But when the slide out starts pushing against the chair, it all cinches down. And hard facts, man, that chair is not going anywhere. And it's kind of funny. All it took was a simple little bungee strap. I mean, it's brilliant. It's inexpensive. It's effective. It's brilliant, man. They see me rolling. Oh, that was sad.
And this ain't coffee talk with Linda Richmond, but if you want to do some towing talk with Uncle Josh the RV nerd, what I'm going to tell you is this is a great fit for like a tow package mid-size pickup with those weights and measures right there. Where you're going to have to watch this one, it has a potentially problematic low cargo carrying capacity, especially if you're going to be a boondock dry camper who needs to fill water tanks, to sit at your destination. Now, this isn't intended to be some kind of hardcore long-term boondock off-grid camper. It's a casual class camper. That's what this thing is right here. But if you you're going to go out for a little bit, the tank sizes are not terrible. They're not, oh my gosh, that's so great, goof. They're okay. By the way, those little storage cabinets on the base of the bed, they look like cabinets. That's actually just pass-through access into, it's pass-through to the pass-through. That is a technically grammatically correct sentence that I didn't expect to say today. You've got the enclosed, sectionalized accessibility here. Wherever the holding tanks are located, it is all enclosed. It is a single sewer-headed monster, or single-headed sewer monster, as it were, one sewer outlet. And, ooh, That's a cable slide. They went away from a Schwintek on these. I think that might be some music to certain people's ears. Some folks really do not like the idea of a Schwintek slide. Now we're looking at it today in the platinum fiberglass skinned edition. This is actually a little more of what it would look like here. That's technically a different floor plan in case you're wondering why the windows aren't the same. But my point is, normally it's a tin skin model. And here's kind of the funny thing. The standard series weighs less. Not only costs less, but weighs less. Throws people off because you see fiberglass and you think ultralight. That's not what this is. No matter what, this is still a stick-built camper. When you add fiberglass on top of a stick-built camper, you also add basically a 3/8 sheet of plywood under the fiberglass all the way around, and it adds up extra weight. So the standard series will give you a little more cargo carrying capacity. The fiberglass platinum edition that we're looking at gives you that smexy look, and it is much easier to clean, so much easier on the shoulders. We're looking at today with their optional 200-watt solar package. You see that does include a battery up front. That also includes that hard shell tank cover up there. You see that the standard series with the corrugated skin does not. They will both have, thankfully though, a battery disconnect switch up front there, just below that stone guard. Notice too the front stabilizer jacks. I want to make a special point to point that out. Man, I'm doubling up on the words unintentionally, but it is the correct way of saying things today. Weird. It's kind of like when you throw like that, like too many that's into a sentence. It's weird. It's unnecessary, but it still works. My point here is this package, you're also getting that griddle. It kind of blocks off part of the front pass-through. You could always take that out. I like this camper. I like this floor plan a lot. I could do without the griddle myself, but that's my 2 cents. What is your take on it? Just because that's how I see it doesn't mean that's how you have to see it. I'm kind of curious. I mentioned it's not a Boondock off-grid warrior, but their solar package you can option on is 200 watts. 30 amp controller means you could probably add some more solar to that. Might have to double check your wiring gauges, but it is always prepped for portable solar as well, which I think is very cool. And I'm going to give them credit. This is still a budget-focused camper. You know, they've done some neat things, some nice things, some sharp things, but at the end of the day, none of this stuff is done over the top. They've given it some nice eye candy and some shape and appeal where it counts, but they never went over the top with this thing. But they gave it a good awning. For no more bigger than the RV is, they gave it a good awning, and I'm going to give them credit for that. Now, what is your take on this? They are not using stable steps, and that's probably more of a cost control measure. But if you are camping out of the parks, away from the pavement, you could be camping with some goofy, uneven ground. And those stable steps can be a bit of a problem on uneven campsites. I think what I would do, and something I'm actually a big fan of, are the traditional metal fold-out steps like we're looking at here. But Lippert makes a set of little drop legs that you can attach to the bottom of those steps that will regain a lot of stability, which I think is very, very cool. And as dumb as it sounds, I appreciate that they have finally standardized the spare tire, which is actually, I'm trying to remember. Is that standard or is that still optional? Never mind. I might have got myself off kilter there because it's the end of the day. I am super tired right now, and I'm all kinds of jazzed up about this thing, so I might be getting ahead of myself. I might just want it to have a standard spare tire. I don't know. Double check that. Call our sales team. We can verify that for you. Now, we are also slide awning ready, which is pretty shocking to find on a little camper. And we are prepped and ready for a roof access ladder, which is what that little black bracket is right there. Unfortunately, since this was kind of a spur-of-the-moment trip, I did not have the opportunity to grab or bring with me the telescopic ladder to get up there, and it is currently about 4 hours after everybody else here went home, and I'm still sitting here recording for you, so I can't go inside and like try to find one or anything, but I gave you a peek at it before. If you just peek up over the roof line there, you can see that 200-watt solar panel in that rear corner. And again, since it's all the way back in the rear corner, there's definitely some open real estate up there if you felt like affixing some additional panels. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. I know that I've been very excited, and I've been shouting a lot on this like, hi, I'm Billy Mays here from Flex Seal, or whatever the case may be. But you gotta understand, I've been doing this since 2009. I've been doing this for over 14 years. I see the same things all day, every day. And when I see something with just an ounce of originality, let alone a completely industry unique floor plan, I about flip my lid and I lose my gourd on this. Now, you may have noticed as I went through the video a couple times, well, there's a sample of one with the tin skin, by the way, but I have mentioned that Wildwood and Salem are the same thing, and you know, I've been calling this just the FSX. Like, here's a sample for you. They come off the same line, made by the same people in the same facilities. So cool thing though is they use the same model numbers, and the way my searches work to give you results, check the link in the video description for pricing and availability. And if we have this in stock in Salem or Wildwood, it will show up in that one link. And if you're like, Josh, the link isn't working, nothing returns, it's because we're sold out. And that does not surprise me. This is a new floor plan. I think people have been dying for stuff with desks. I expect these things not to have any kind of keeping quality for a while. So if you see one in stock, if you like it, you better put a ring on it, Beyonce. And when you're ready, we are ready. We don't do hidden dealer fees. We just do all the other stuff to get you taken care of. So take care, stay safe, have fun. Happy camping, everyone. This was fun today. Yes!